Hello everyone, this is Carmen
And Moises.
and you listen to Yoga Burn. So it's been a while.
Yes.
But the title of today's podcast is
Hold my beer.
is to demo or not to demo.
Hold my beer, I'm going for the demo.
Oh my god, not at all. Like just this visual, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So are we going back to the
Yes.
non-visual, just
Yes.
audio
I did
podcast?
not look my side when I like the videos. When I look at me, it's like, I'm not pretty enough there. No.
No, just because it's easier to get it on all different platforms
It was too much work.
instead
It's
of
just too much work.
like, that's not the reason. That is absolutely not the reason.
It really is.
It's not.
It is.
The reason is that we wanted to put it on different platforms, and it's not allowed. You should see Moises' face right now. It's not. It's just not possible.
They cannot see it because
so
we changed
then-
the format.
So then, that's why. But anyway, I'm happy to be back.
I'm very happy with this format too.
And let's just go on. Let's just go cover this topic
Yes.
that I think it's pretty interesting.
But let's make it fun. I'm going to use your notes and you use mine.
That's absolutely never going to happen. And you saying that because I brought literally, let me show you, 13 points to cover, and you brought probably 0. No?
Correct.
So then no. But you're very gifted with a very incredible mind.
Incredible mind.
That you can actually
Whoa.
you can actually come up with the most incredible things to write on the spot.
Like
so I know
Talking, right?
I know what it is. You know what it is, to be challenged, mentally challenged by you. And in a debate or something like that. So I know I came with my weapons.
Me too.
Already. I'll prepare.
I had dinner, so I'm ready too.
That's good. You're all ready.
Yep.
So anyway, to demo or not to demo? Are you in favor of demoing?
You
or are
must demo.
You must demo.
You must demo.
I am not. I'm not.
My argument.
Okay. You must always demo.
You must demo.
Okay. Explain.
We, the human beings, do not know how to measure quality.
Okay.
We don't know.
Agreed.
You go to a class,
And you think that if
even if when you finish, even if it felt okay, if it's not popular enough. I remember the freaking thing from the
from the studio.
I was teaching the level 1-2s, right? And a new girl comes in, and when we finish, she says, what is this style? I had never seen anything like this. It was a different organization of the class. I was able to do so much.
Right.
She was amazed of how much she's done, how much is it, but this is not vinyasa. No, it's not. And I try to explain in a rational manner, as if she was rational, which I learned later on that was not. Why the way we were doing things actually made sense, and how she was able to actually accomplish things she had never accomplished before.
Okay.
And then at the end of my speech, she came back to vinyasa, and she said, but it's so popular. And she never came back.
Right.
And that blew my mind.
But you think
Blew my mind.
You think then that demoing is going to give you some sort of authority or something?
Demo
or it
is-
will change someone's mind?
People cannot tell if they have a good teacher in front of them or not. Some few can. Most cannot. Therefore, they take a good practitioner, which they can see. Look, this person is flexible. They can do a bird of paradise. They can do a handstand. They can do a whatever. So they take a good practitioner as the equivalent or as the mark, as the signal, as the
Right.
method to identify a good teacher.
True.
when it is actually false.
Right.
A good teacher and a good practitioner have nothing to do with each other. Two very different things. But since we do not know how to measure quality, even when you feel it in your own fucking body,
right?
Like this woman. I mean, you come in, you feel it in your body, because that's what I thought that would actually.
I think that is I think that is an extreme case.
Because it's an extreme case.
I have taught many people
classes.
in throughout my life, and
they came back.
The majority.
They came back. I know. So they were more evolved than this chimpanzee of a woman.
The majority of people were like, "Wow, I've never practiced like that before. It was amazing. I'll be back."
If what I'm saying is true,
I want another private or something.
We would not have students.
Yeah,
obviously,
it's true. Yes,
You're
of
right?
course. Of
so
course,
I mean, every single student we have, having a new style as you have, was able to come in, feel the style, feel the class, feel the progress, feel how, and they made their own decision, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I've always felt that we were catering to more advanced, whatever the word means, people, yogis, students, practitioners, whatever, right? Somebody that came, I have been practicing for 6 months. This is not for you. You haven't gone through enough pain in the world of yoga. You get somebody that says, I've been doing this for 20 years and I'm stuck. Or I'm doing this for 10 years and I'm stuck. I cannot get better at anything anymore. I lost my motivation. That person is perfect for us.
Right.
That person is going to really value what you have to give them. Because they've gone through enough pain to judge.
It's true. It's true. So, I mean, it is true what you're saying.
Therefore, you have to demo.
Okay. But I don't think, I think there's a lot of people, and especially nowadays, that they understand that it's not the same thing. I mean, being a good practitioner, you can be a performer, and you can do amazing backbends or amazing handstands or amazing tricks. But can you actually teach those? And that is two different, like we were talking about, two different skills. And I think people are realizing that a little bit more now. But it is still kind of new. It's kind of a new concept.
It's a new idea.
It's a groundbreaking idea that, you don't have to do it perfectly well. On the other hand, yes... I am more for you don't have to demo. No. You don't have to demo everything.
Oh, everything. But you have to do a hard pose in the class. You have to be able to do the poses.
You have to be very familiar with them in terms of you practice those yourself in your personal practice on a regular basis.
I think that is where it's going. Like again, I'm talking from the perspective of someone who's teaching a new style. Like your style, you develop the style, you created the thing, it's new, it's actually performing better than anything else I've seen around. So you have to prove it to them. They would expect that if you're selling me a new style, you should be your best poster child of it. You use your own style in your practice, and oh my God, you are so advanced, I want to be like you, right? Because if I go in and say, let me give you my style, and they say, so I can be like you? Yeah, that's not going to sell it.
You're not going to... True. At first.
At first.
At first.
Until they see my moves.
But at first, no.
Then it's like...
But then they'll see how much...
My Bollywood moves.
How much information you have packed into every class, into every asana that you teach, into every detail, like how great your assists are, your hands-on assists, which is something that is very difficult, if not impossible, to fake. You can definitely fake, be a talker in the class. People also misunderstand. You think that teaching a lot, saying a lot of words in the class is actually being a better teacher. If you're a little bit more quiet, or you make some pauses, then you're a worse teacher because you have nothing to say. When in reality, that also has nothing to do with that. I mean, if you talk so much, then
it's too much.
It's too much.
You need silence for the things to sink in.
Exactly. You know, the people to understand and be in their bodies and nervous system to assimilate. I mean, tons of things going on, and listening to your body, what's going on, stretching, pulling. I mean, all of that. So it's just concentration for handstands. I mean, a ton of things, right? But they think that if you talk a lot, then it's just gonna make you a better teacher. So there's a lot of stigmas, a lot of ideas that are
preconceptions or expectations.
Exactly. These preconceptions that are just not right, you know, and probably to demo is one of those. So supposedly, yes, you're supposed to demo like every single pose, but I don't necessarily agree with that. And for me, for example, but you have to be very familiar, like I said, or practice yourself on a regular basis all those asanas. You just cannot say, guys, we're gonna do a handstands in today's class, and you barely practice handstand yourself. Then you have no idea what kind of a daunting task that is for your students, and how difficult it is, and what kind of, you know, mountains do they have to climb when they are trying that pose, and what issues, what problems that they will encounter. And every person is very different, the problems that they'll have. You know?
Example. So you have a student that wants to do a backbend, right? That is a difficult backbend that they cannot do.
I'm glad that you went there, because
let's go there. No. Let's go there now.
Because it's a perfect example.
Let's go there. Let's go to that place.
Of why I'm saying not demoing.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. And then what?
There's a student who wants to do a backbend that it's difficult for her. She cannot do it right now. She cannot do that backbend.
Okay.
And she has to choose which teacher to go to. Right? If that person has no pain in her back, no pain, she will go to a teacher that she has seen can do that backbend. Even if the teacher is naturally gifted and can do that backbend with no effort. But you will go to the wrong teacher. Meaning wrong that person just can do the backbend. It happens to be able to do that. She's so freaking flexible, because we know that some people are born like that.
Right.
And she just was able to do that backbend with 3 months of work. Right? The path of the teacher of 3 months of work to get to that backbend, and the path of the girl that is trying to do the backbend after 2 years, 3 years of working, no pain, but work, and not achieving it, she's going to go to the one that can do it. If the person that wants to do the backbend saying, every time I try, my back hurts, she will not go, or she may go to the one that actually can do the backbend, talk to her, see in 3 minutes that she has no idea how to get rid of her pain, and will go and try somebody else. Until she says, enough with the demos, who is talking sense? And that person, with the pain, through the pain, because of the pain, will choose a very different teacher. And it will not matter if she sees the demo or not.
So then, are you advocating for pain? I mean,
Yes, pain is awesome.
Pain is good.
Pain is a phase, I think. I mean, the way that we, the humans, approach yoga in this case.
Let's just say life, but
I control myself. I control myself.
Going there,
I control myself. Let's go with yoga. Let's go with yoga. You come to yoga and you want to do poses.
Yeah.
You want to do poses. You want to do this backbend. You want to do this handstand. You want to do this poses. You want to do a pose. You want to do a move. You want to do this thing. That's what you want to do. You come in and you want to do the thing. Trying to do the thing makes you force your body in an unwise way.
Right.
Pain appears. Pain restructures your way of judging what you should be doing with your time on a yoga mat. And unfortunately, very unfortunately, some people leave at that phase, which is the phase to learn, actually.
Right.
Like the pain is the best teacher of a yogi. It restructures your priorities, your criteria on the mat, towards the teacher, towards the practice, towards your time, towards anything. And then you go and say, if you're clever, if you land with the right teacher, if you're old enough. I mean, time is a very good thing for the yogi as well, I think. How can I use my body in the most intelligent way to get as far as I can doing this? Don't get rid of the motivation. Don't get rid of the goals. Don't get rid of the peak poses you want to do. Don't get rid of any of that. But the way you approach it is very different. How should I prepare my body wisely, carefully, lovingly, and take care of it so actually one day I can do that bloody thing? Then you look for a teacher and you won't care if they demo or not. But in the beginning, you will.
So then I'm going to say why, or a couple of reasons why I think demoing is not essential and maybe even sometimes counterproductive. One, when you're doing back bends, for example,
good example.
When you're doing back bends, every person arches a little bit differently. So let's say that I'm doing a pose, I have a lot of flexibility in my quads, in my hip flexors, right? And a very mobile lumbar spine. And so when I'll do back bends, even if they're very deep and I can touch my feet to my head or something like that, it will have a certain shape. You know, somebody that has more flexibility in the thoracic or more in the end of the thoracic or very open shoulders, and they feel like the arms reach really far when they're trying to do a back bend. And so every person in the class will look a little bit different. There won't be super dramatic. Maybe some are very dramatic, but every single back bend in the class will be a little bit different. As soon as you see how the teacher is doing that, you're trying to imitate that. You're trying to do exactly that.
That's a very good point.
So regardless of, let's say, I don't have a long hip flexors.
You have a strange habit of moving.
I'll try to push myself to actually do that when my body, maybe my hip flexors are tighter and I cannot stretch that much, or my shoulders are not that open because I do a lot of inversions, a lot of handstands or something. So you have an idea already, a mental picture in your mind of how that pose is supposed to look. And I also see that, for example, in handstands. Like when you do handstands and people are very obsessed about that famous straight line, right? But it just depends so much also on your anatomy. For sure. I mean, there's just things that you can do to make it straighter. And there's bad habits that many yogis have when you do a lot of chaturangas and a lot of arm balances like crow and all that. So shoulders are always over, so far forward. So there's many things that need to be corrected when you're doing handstands and if you want to make a very straight line. But everybody has a different body.
Anatomy, bone structure.
Exactly, your bone structure. So many men, for example, they have a flat scapulas and very flat rib cage, for example, and very, not that much lordosis or kyphosis in the lumbar and spine and in the cervical. So when they go into a handstand, it already looks incredibly straight. Like they don't have to put that much effort in that line and achieving and obsessively that line because they're already there. The bones are already there and the structure is already there, and they're not probably even engaging. Sometimes not even engaging, trying to do the movements that you want to do, like the protraction, etc., the pushing against the shoulders against the floor, etc. But it's just the bone structure. Whereas maybe a woman with more flexibility, very arch lumbar spine, or bigger butt, you name it, more rib cage, then it looks not that straight, and you're so frustrated, and no matter how many times I tell you no, it's okay, like your line this is a really good line, but they obsessively think, no, it's not straight, therefore it's not good enough.
It's not like that one.
It's not like that
I can see
one.
the picture.
And I'm like,
of that man.
yeah, and you see this model in the photo, and you don't have these legs either, you know? Probably they're also Photoshop, but you don't have this super long legs either. You don't have this skin in this model here. You don't have that structure either in your handstand. So it's really hard to make people like let go of that visual image. Like I have to fight so much against that.
So you don't want to demo so they don't get the image.
Yeah.
And you think that they are mature enough to understand your reasons?
That is a problem. That is the problem, I think.
Because that is my problem.
The problem is maturity, I think. Because somebody that, like you said, that has been going through a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, then as soon as you give them those people, as soon as you give them, okay, how about you tweak this, you do this with your shoulder, and when you do this back bend, I want you to think of doing this and this and this. When you're doing, when you are lunging, I want you to think of squaring more your pelvis, and instead of like going so deeper, think of your abdominals pulling back a little bit. I mean, just like 100 things. And then they're like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Like nobody had ever explained this to me. I have no pain now when I get into this pose, right? And then all of a sudden, it doesn't matter the pose anymore. Like, I don't care what amazing back bend you were pursuing, what amazing arm balance or inversion. All of a sudden, the most important thing is that pain that you had all the time, it's not there anymore. And that shocks you even more, or shocks them even more, than it's more meaningful than actually doing the pose itself, right? So that has happened like in the immersions that we do like only a handful of people, like 10, 12 people. There's always breakthrough moments like that. I mean, not everybody, the majority of people don't have an advanced practice, period. You just don't think like, oh my God, it's like, you go to a yoga studio, go to a class. The majority of people in the yoga class will have a normal practice, some better, some worse.
They can follow the rhythm of the
class.
And some things they will do better, some worse.
Exactly.
Some people will be flexible. Some people will be strong.
So the immersions are the same. Some people have this idea, immersions, you're so challenging, right? But it's not. That's not it. Right? So there's people that can do some beautiful poses, some beautiful backbends, and some people that are incredibly stiff, like doing a very simple, or like lifting your arms overhead and touching the wall behind you, but without any arch is already a challenge. That's what I mean by challenge. That doing bridge, doing like just cobra, a very small lifting cobra is already very challenging, very painful, very difficult for them. So those kind of situations, and for those, it's like, wow, this is mind blowing. Like I've never been able to even start to do back bends or start to do inversions or start to do, because I had this pinch in my shoulder, because I had this pain, or my arms got bent when I was doing handstands. I mean, you name it, right? So that's why. But the problem of that is that you also need to, when you're demoing, you give them a lot of visual information that is already given because they're watching you. So if you don't demo, then you have to talk and explain that so well. That's why I added that you have to include that pose on a regular basis in your practice. So you know very well how to explain it and how to do it, and you're very familiar with it, you're just very knowledgeable about that pose. You cannot just like go like, I'm gonna teach this pose that I saw on Instagram yesterday. I'm gonna teach it today and see what happens. That is the worst idea.
But won't the demo help you to know how to get into it, to see how it looks like?
Yeah.
To know that it's achievable, to like the psyche or the seeing somebody doing the bloody thing. Even if it's like naturally gifted, flexible, don't you get a little bit out of
absolutely
confidence?
But
almost.
You don't. I'm not saying don't do anything. Don't do anything.
But don't demo everything. Or where's the line?
The line is, when you're like showing like one of those like horror movies and they just show you, you know, just one dark room. You're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And your brain is already thinking and filling the gaps of, oh my God, like this girl, she was lost. And oh my God, and then maybe she's dead inside that room.
I pull
and
my
you're
finger
ready.
and you don't know. Like that. Like the brain goes
You know,
there.
But the brain is already, and you see like, you know, a hand with blood, and you're like, oh my gosh, she's inside and she's dead. And it could be nothing, you know. It could be, I don't know, it could be a hand
A
there.
small gas. Could be a little one.
It could be a hand there. But the bottom line is that the brain fills in the gaps. So maybe you can do the beginning a little bit of the pose, and then they kind of, okay, so I gotta arch back or and they complete the visual in their minds. That requires some skill to actually do that. But
And requires a student that has been practicing for a while.
True. Okay.
Right?
True. Yeah.
And so it will depend also on the level of a student. So, I mean, in the beginning, in a level 1 class.
But maybe, I mean, who's to say that you know, Ekapada Raja Kapotasana 1, this is how it should look like. You know, you explain it and then they do it, and this is how it looks for them, you know. And they don't have to see how other poses look like.
If you go to a beginner's class, level 1 class, I think that we all understand what a level 1 class is. You get Ekapada and you use a strap.
Yeah.
Right? And the goal in that class is don't fall.
Well,
right?
Okay. I mean, yes.
Then
breathe.
Breathe.
Oh wow, yeah.
Try not to see cross. And like
Cross your eyes
cross
like
your
that.
eyes while you're doing this thing, or see blue dots when you come out. Right? Don't throw the whole back bend either to the shoulder or to the back or to the lower back or to right. Don't hurt your back, kind of, right? So try to have some intention of doing this kind of properly, kind of like that, right? Then you go to a level 3 class, right? And I mean, I used to teach those in the studio.
Right.
And I wouldn't demo a single thing, right? Because the whole time was, how can I help you and your body with my adjustment to send the back bend to where you need it, right? And I had 10 people, 20 people, whatever number of people. It looked like the same kind of adjustment, and it was different for each one at the same time. So you make it more specific because the student is prepared to be more aware of what they are doing, and their needs are more specific now. The needs of the level 1 is don't fall. Don't fall.
Yeah.
And kind of like grab the strap properly, and sometimes they're doing horrible things, right?
There's
Don't do horrible things.
There's many ways to grab the strap wrong.
Yeah. Exactly. Just try not to grab the strap wrong. I'm going to demo how to grab the strap 3 times, and you still do it wrong, right? So that is a level 1.
Yeah.
Charming.
Yeah. Let's say that it's not that appealing.
So you have to do the demos then, right? So I think it requires a more clever student.
What you're saying circles back to my second reason, which I never said. I'm going to tell you 2 reasons.
Tell us.
And I was only talking about that you have the mental image of the pose. And then the second one is that when you demo, you are very much, very oftentimes on your mat practicing, and it takes you some time to get in, to get out of a pose, etc. So you're not spending that energy adjusting or assisting your students. So it's more challenging. I mean, it's possible. You can do. I've spent my whole life doing that. You do a very difficult pose, and then you come out of a pose and you start adjusting and assisting people. It's pretty harsh on your body, but it can be done. Yeah. Speaking from experience, it's possible, right? But it is so much nicer, for example, when you have someone in your class that can do the demos for you. Or for me, when I have a good student and that person does the demos for me, because then I can focus on like how people enter in the pose. because many times that is the setup and the foundation is a big part of a problem of why they encounter so many problems in that particular pose. So I can.
But you can actually look at the pose, at the movement, at the entry, at the staying there, at the breathing, at the position of the shoulders, how you evolve the thing, and you can talk through it. Because if you're demoing,
right,
you can only speak so much because the pose is hard.
Right.
If somebody else is doing it, like as I've seen you like sitting down so many times, pointing here, lift this, lift that, and then explaining to the whole room, which is very interesting to see somebody doing it and you narrating what exactly to do and how to do it properly.
Exactly.
But again, that is a workshop. So maybe it's the place and time, and that should tell us which one to do. So if you're doing like a more regular class, like a
I don't think it has to be a workshop. It can be, but I'm gonna agree that you have to have some sort of knowledge. Like for beginners, I don't think that is a good idea. Like the no demoing theory is maybe not working that great. But then it gets to a point that it's not needed.
Yeah.
And you can just get so much more out of a practice if you are assisting your students, if you're adjusting them. And, me, myself, I would not go to a class to just watch you do things.
Exactly.
I want to get like different misalignments that I have, right? Or something, or, something in my handstand or something, I don't know. And then get that figure out and they get that corrected.
Feedback from
that is 10 times more mind-blowing for me than I remember when for example, we were with Mauro, we were just practicing the one-arm handstand, and he's unbelievable and he can do amazing things on one arm, etc. But when he put me in a handstand that one time, and then he stood on a chair and he looked at my hips from above and from my legs and how my legs were turning a little bit. And we did both sides, like transferring to one side, transferring to the other arm. And then he's like, on your right arm, this is what happens. On your left arm, this is what happens. Because it usually both
different
arms
things.
have different problems, right? It's every hand balancer will tell you that. And then it blew my mind how precise and accurate and just how amazing that was. 100 times more incredible than anything that he had ever done.
So then it depends on the student.
Probably.
On day one, you must demo. So they grab the strap properly. Right?
Yeah.
Then they will grow. Hopefully they keep coming back.
Yeah.
And they will grow. And they will want the demo because they're used to the demo. It's comfortable. It's easy. I just imitate what you've done. They will get to a point where you have to get them out of the demo. Like, stop looking at me and how I do it and start paying attention to you and how your body does it.
Exactly.
And there's a transition moment where you have to kick them out.
Right. True.
And then if they are lucky enough to get to whatever advanced level means, they don't care about the demo because they will know that their body and yours are different. And
True.
They will want you looking at them doing the thing. So you can give them feedback.
It's very true.
So there's those three phases.
It's true.
What do you agree with it or not?
I agree. And also, I want to say that in a world that we're living right now, full of social media and full of visual impacts, how is one teacher that would not demo things is going to promote themselves?
Oh, that's true.
Because it's like, hey, come to me because I'm
really good, huh?
I'm really good.
Trust me.
So that is very challenging because there's just so much around.
Marketing is very visual.
It is.
So you need to do the demo and you're saying, look at me, I have practiced so much and I have used my style and my teachings and my way of doing things, and this is how far I got. When it's not really true because your body may be really prepared or conditioned because of your background or because of your genetics to do certain things. Right?
It's true. So then I mean, you can, of course, record yourself like adjusting someone and explaining why are you doing this with this person, blah, blah, blah. But then, I mean, again, in this world of social media, it's just everything is faster. So, you know, if I have to listen to your video for 10 minutes, forget it. I'm just not going to watch it. I'm just going to scroll and just watch some other girl doing something 10 seconds in a reel, and that's it, you know. And so it's like, oh, so beautiful. And
so the video should be, you adjust them and then they hug you. And then you stop the video, like 7 seconds. Like they get in the pose, you do the adjustment, they go, oh, they come out, they hug you.
Yeah.
And you can post that.
Then you can post
and it's
that.
all gratitude. Every post. Everybody hugs you.
You can post that and they'll be like, what is wrong with this guy? What is he doing? I don't know, you know.
So it can be like in this world of media and maybe like construed the whole hugging.
So I mean, it's just that's what I'm saying, that my theory of, or my argument, then non-demo, it's not ideal, you know, and it is for someone with a more acquired taste for yoga, for asanas, for everything. I mean, but ultimately it's really more about how you can connect with that person and how you can understand that teacher. If you have a hard time understanding what they say, no matter how well they demo or not demo, then you should get out of there.
Yeah.
Right. So then if it doesn't work for you, then walk out. But you know, that's just we kind of hang up on the whole demoing.
I think there's a levels thing.
Yeah.
Those three levels.
It also as a teacher, it boosts your confidence as a teacher.
True.
I mean, you have a lot of confidence.
I have great demos.
But you are the exception to the rule.
Like
because
of my moves.
Because everybody is very intimidated when they have someone that does.
By me, you think?
Not by you. But people are intimidated. No, you have never been intimidated by someone with an incredible practice since day one. Like, you have had incredibly bendy and strong students in your class, and you're like, nothing faces you.
Because I've been adjusting you for 20-something years.
But nothing
that
really.
Is why.
But nothing really faces you. I don't know.
Anytime that I went into a class in the studio and somebody wanted to do something crazy, I never thought, oh my God, this is so crazy. I never done this. This is a decaffeinated version of my Wednesday night, adjusting Carmen at home.
So then, for whatever reason, you have that confidence.
I had the shock therapy at home.
You had that confidence in you, right? And you put that confidence in how many hours you were adjusting me or you were adjusting other students. So you're like, okay, I'm confident. But some people build that confidence based on what they can actually do with their bodies. So then it just gives them that boost that they need to do better in the class and project their voice more and have a stronger presence in the room and be more commanding,
Mm-hmm.
And so it helps them. I mean, I'm not saying don't demo and give up on your practice,
just the opposite. Actually,
I'm saying that you don't need to demo, but you should continue to practice, all those asanas and all that. It's gonna enrich so much your physical practice, your mental practice, and you're gonna feel much more confident when you teach, etc., etc. But the confidence should not come from showing off. It's coming from the practice. Like, I'm comfortable because I have practiced this pose hundreds, if not thousands of times, so I know it. But I don't have the urge to demo right now and just to break my back or just do an amazing handstand right now, pull it off right now. It's you can do it, or you don't have to do it. It's not expected that you should do it, but what is expected is that you want to teach the asana and adapt it to every student, and they can understand you and they can do their best version of that of that pose themselves. That's in a nutshell what I mean, you know.
Agreed.
You agree with that?
Yep.
You agree with that? But anyway, but yeah, what do you want to add anything else?
Nope.
Yeah, I think we've covered like all of the points.
And we covered everything.
Like all of my points
Any questions they had?
That I had.
We covered
here.
them all.
But so then, are you gonna continue to not demo? Then
I will continue not demoing. Especially, I will continue mostly not teaching yoga classes, which is my strategy so far. I'm doing really well.
No, I mean I have to say that when you're teaching online or when you're teaching, you know, it's very helpful to demo
online
something.
And live is a very different world.
It's two different animals. It's just very different.
The whole time we were talking like live, right? In person.
In person.
The whole time in my head, I was in an in-person scenario.
Yeah.
Because
I've also taken some classes online, and the person would not move. I mean, she was sitting at a desk. She would not move at all. And I mean, whatever, good for you, right? But it's like, okay, sit on the floor, lift your legs, and I'm like, okay, how? Bent, straight? I mean, how do you want me to, legs together, legs apart? How far apart? I mean, then it's like, no. And reach your arms in front. And I'm like, but how? Overhead, like palms facing each other, straighten your arms. I mean, so to get into both, or Navasana, right? To get into both, that took 3 minutes of explaining that. And I'm like, okay, there's got to be some middle line here, right? That is just not. I mean, I understand that, you know, you're teaching a lot of online classes or something, but I mean, give me a break. You know, it's a little bit of an extreme case, if you will. But you know, I am more inclined towards the not necessary to demo every single thing super hard, and focus more on what your students need, more so than anything else. And with that, I think it's a good moment to wrap it up. And hopefully we're gonna be back soon to do more
very soon,
more podcasts.
Less than 3 months.
I don't want to wait that much, so because I know that some of you told me like you were missing the podcast, so
a lot.
Just I want to get back to them. All right, thank you guys for listening. This was Carmen.
Thank you very much, and Moises.
You listen to Yoga Burn. And I'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.